Hi, and welcome to Lift Kits and Coffee. My name's Chris, and today's video is about tires. So if you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that what I was working up to, of course, was eventually being able to get a lift on and get some tires on. So I do have the lift on. It's from Freedom Off-Road, and I have the 2-inch coils in the back, and I have their adjustable coilovers in the front. And right now, and thanks to Christopher Dixon, to clarify, I did adjust the coilovers up 2 inches, but the end result of that 2 inches of coilover adjustment was a total of 3 inches of lift on the front. So in sort of the 4Runner category, to get your level vehicle, it's sort of 2 inches in the back and 3 inches in the front with an inch offset. You don't get to live in my neighborhood without a lot of traffic. So right now, I can't find a better place to shoot this video. But anyway, so what I decided to do was to sort of leave the traditional route, and which would be to go for a wider tire. I wanted to get another inch of differential lift or drivetrain lift off the ground. And so the factory wheels, which are 265, 65 are 17s on the Sport Edition, give you a diameter of tire of about 30.6. So what I was hoping to reach for with my lift was to be able to put 33s on. There's probably going to be a couple jump cuts in this video because of the traffic, but anyway, so the goal was to be able to get 33s on Alfred, my 2004 4Runner V8 edition, Sport Edition, and to get 33s on there, it looked like I was going to need about 2 inches of lift. I went for 3, but I thought it was important, and as we all know, when you start getting into off-roading, you can spend all the money you have, and maybe some you don't have, and we're all on budgets of one sort or another. So part of my guiding principle was to try to do things myself. So that's me learning how to install parts that I've never done before, but also to try and buy smart, but also make functionality the top priority, and then cosmetics, more secondary. And so the other part of that was to make choices that maybe would limit the amount of extra work to get the wheels on. I wanted to be able to use the factory rims, which are 17s on the Sport Edition, and also was not wanting to do any extra trimming or a body mount chop or those kinds of things, and I didn't really have the money to buy rims now with an offset. So all the signs with those parameters in there. I have a really loud songbird here. Maybe they're just excited that I'm doing this. I don't know. One fan, but with all those parameters in play, it looked like the best solution for me for my first set of tires was going to be pizza cutters. And for those of you who don't know, pizza cutters are just skinny tires. If you think about the old, Willys Jeeps, the military version, they always sort of ran those skinny tires, and the early Broncos ran skinny tires too. Here comes another car. So here's a jump cut. It's not necessarily the most popular direction for off-road tires right now. Probably people that are thinking about it going up to 33s on the 4Runner or any vehicle would be looking at 285, 70R, whatever your rim size is. And that will get you 32.7 inches. But you get a wider footprint, of course, and that's what most people are looking for, which has its role to play in certain terrains. I'm not going to be on the beach or in sand, I don't think, which was where it seemed like that was the biggest differentiator. And then, so the size I chose, we'll get around to actually showing you the tire. The size I chose was 255, 80 are 17s. And what you get with that size is a 10-inch wide footprint, rather than what the 285 will give you, 11.1. And then you actually get a full 33.1 diameter instead of what the 285s give you, the 32.7. So you get a little half-inch higher, but a full inch and plus a little narrower. So without any further ado, let me just insert some footage of the tires from a few different angles, and then we'll get back to talking about some choices and maybe viewing them from a different perspective. All right, so here's the rims and tires together, and I just stuck with the original rims, as I said before, mostly because if you're going to go off-road, that's just one less thing I need to worry about, scratching them up and stuff. These things are already scratched up a bit. It's got some road rash right here. And then for tires, I went with the Falcon Wild Peak AT3s. A lot of people like them, and I didn't really know a lot, but it seemed like a good place to start. And I wasn't quite ready to jump all the way over to a mud tire yet. Maybe if I'm able to get some offset rims, I would go with like the wider 285s and get a mud tire. That way I could swap between them maybe. I don't know. That's money I don't have to spend right now. So this is a good place to start. And you can see I still have the mud flaps on the front. They were already off on the back, but I went ahead and left them on here on the front for now. And what I'm going to show you next, I'm going to move the camera, and then what I'll do is I'll show you the tire turning in the wheel well, so you can sort of see what the clearances are. I can say up front right now that on the flat I don't get any rubbing at all, but my driveway has an incline to get out, and when I'm backing out, sometimes I get a little bit of rubbing, but it's just happening right here. If I take these off, it would stop. So, but I haven't done that yet. But let me go ahead and I'll move the camera so you can sort of see the tire moving in the wheel well here and what the clearances look like. So it looks like I am getting a little bit of rub right here with this this front molded piece that's part of the fender liner. It touches a little bit on that mud flap, but of course I can just take those off. But it looks like I do need to maybe trim this a little bit. I can feel it. It's not a full finger width, to get in there. But I think that'd be pretty easy to get rid of with a utility knife, maybe hacksaw, or if you've got some electric tool to cut, that'd be great. But other than that, the tires fit in there really well. There's lots of clearance with the control arm here in the back. I can get a full hand in between the control arm and the tire at this turn position. So I think the next thing that might be interesting to show you is some of the clearances. I guess the most important one, or the one most people are interested in knowing, is how much clearance is to the bottom of the differential. So we'll pull a tape measure on that one, and then maybe you'd be interested in the sort of side chassis clearance. and maybe the axle clearance or the front diff. So we'll pull tape on some of this stuff and get those measurements for you. Okay, so here we're pulling the tape, and from the ground to the bottom of the differential is 10 3/8. So that would be the new clearance with these tires. And then over here at the control arms, looks like we're at 11 1/4, and then to the axle about 14 inches. So those are probably some of the most important ones on the back here. And let me flip around to the side, and we'll get the side clearance, and then we'll go up and get the front diff. Okay, I still have my running boards on here, so that's effectively the side clearance. And so let's just go ahead and pull tape on that. And it looks like about 16 1/4. And if you can see, back here is the gas tank, and the bottom of the gas tank is, let's call it 13, give or take an eighth. About 13 with the guard on it. And well, the lift kit makes it a lot easier to get under here to make these measurements. So this is the guard, and the diff is in there. And so let's see, the belly there is, I would say, about 12 1/2 inches, because there's maybe a low point right there or something. So 12 1/2 inches right here. And this is symptomatic of this entire vehicle, which is that somebody, previous owner, took off the front skid plate and did not put it back. So I don't have one until I get one. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. We'll just keep it short and sweet about tires, and I think that the pizza cutters worked out. The 33 inches looks good on the vehicle with that lift, and yeah, they're a little skinnier, but 10 inches wide still looks pretty wide. And the result is what I was looking for. So I think it's going to be really fun to drive out. I've taken it out on the forest roads a little bit, but I haven't really taken it out off on a trail. So, but that, hopefully that'll be coming up soon. Once I resolve that front skid plate issue. I got some ideas there. So thanks for watching. And if you want to like or subscribe or ring the notification bell, all that stuff, that's always appreciated. And again, my name's Chris, and I'm a coffee roaster at Lift Kit Coffee. And here's some coffee. I never show the product in any of these videos, but these are the coffees I sell. And if you're interested in getting some coffee, well, of course, I would appreciate that and support the channel. And if you have any questions about any of this, and maybe I didn't cover something, or you have a question that I might be able to answer just from having done a lot of research before I made my choices, feel free to drop it in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Well, take a day or so. Anyway, everybody have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.